I've been really busy prepping for Mom this Saturday. If you don't know what Mom is, they are an art market series that is primarily based in California, but they've been expanding to other regions, including the East Coast. But I will be at Mom, OCMA, which is in Orange County, and this will be my first art market in SoCal in a year, basically. This is kind of a full circle moment for me because my first art market that I ever booked, not the first one that I attended, but the first one I booked was actually with them in the Row in downtown LA. But yeah, I've not sold my artwork in Southern California since, so I'm actually really excited to be going back down. I think it'll be nice to reach a wider audience as well as meet some of y'all that might be down there. I'm a little worried because we have a couple little, I don't want to call them problems because they're not really problems, because they were totally expected and understood, but we have a couple little issues that we need to work through, and I will tell you about them. And this is kind of my problem. So Mom does 4-foot tables and I have to figure out how to fit all my stuff onto a 4-foot table. So this is kind of the game plan. It will be a little bit deeper, so I will be able to put this here, hopefully. But I am buying a rack to put right here for all my charms and stuff. And then over here is where I'll have my payment stuff. I would ideally like to have, so underneath here is actually the packing cubes that I normally use, and ideally I would like to have 4, but it will come off the table a little bit. Maybe I will do that, but then I will have to stand all day, which is also not that fun. This other problem that I have is definitely one of my own making, and that is that I don't have a ton of time to prep. I started the prep process last week, so I already did a lot of the work in creating products and working on planning for this market and figuring out display stuff. But I would say that the bulk of the work that needs to be done is still undone. My to-do list is ever growing and I'm adding things to it faster than I'm checking them off, which is a big problem. But I will try to get as much done as possible today. I am leaving on Thursday, so I don't have a ton of time to get work done, but I think it is at the point where I just need to do as much as possible and hope for the best.
Less has been done to increase battery energy density. That is, the amount of electricity much. It's easier to increase range by bringing down costs and putting more batteries in popular ski towns. In the case of Leaderboard, a Norwegian regional airline, 19 of their 47 overall destinations are within 2 single routes. Well, the use case for electric aircraft already exists because aircraft, they fly from large hubs to small. We're not happy really with what's going on. We always really want to see it.
So here are a couple items I got from my display. I want to shift more towards the self-serve style display to try it out for a little bit. I think people like being able to interact with the products before they buy them, and having a self-serve style display allows customers to be able to browse at their own leisure. The first thing I got is this jewelry rack to display my charms. At past markets, I had my charms flat on the table on some trays, which worked fine, but you couldn't really see them unless you were standing right over them. So I wanted to find something to have my charms displayed vertically so you could see them from further away. I found this jewelry rack in wood and gold, which fits my other wood elements on my table. I also got these mini envelopes for my berry blind bag stickers. I originally was printing, cutting, and assembling my own envelopes, but it was kind of a big waste of my time to do that. So I printed out some labels for the bags with my thermal label printer. It isn't as cute as my old bags because you can't see all the designs, but I don't think that matters as much because I'll be putting these envelopes into a dispenser and making a little sign for it. I didn't end up vlogging much at Mom OCMA, but here are some of the clips I did get. Okay, hi, so I am back from Mom OCMA and I just wanted to sit down and kind of go over how everything went. I never updated you guys, but I did end up managing to fit everything onto a 4-foot table and I think it actually turned out pretty well. But in regards to my display, a couple things that I do want to improve on are A, how my blind bag stickers are displayed because I think it is a little bit too small and shoved into the corner and I do want to draw a little bit more attention to that. And also B, with my sticker sheets, I think I also have a similar problem. I have bought a new greeting card display rack since then, and I think I want to buy a second one to display more items. I think it is a little bit expensive for what you get, but I do like how tall it is and how much of the card it shows when you put the cards on, because my old display, when you would put the cards into each shelf, it would be covered up quite a bit actually. And I'm also thinking of maybe adding some sort of backdrop to my charm display because I think the charms can get a little bit lost in the background and whatever. As for the market itself, I don't think I'll be going back to this specific market. I wasn't a huge fan of the venue. It was a beautiful location and it was very nice there, but it was located in the second floor terrace of the museum, which means that people would have to enter the museum and check in and register before going up to the second floor to the market, which means there was a lot less passerby foot traffic. So the only people that would be going would be people who knew about the event. Most of the purchases that were made were stationery goods, and single stickers were the most popular item, which makes up about a third of all purchases made. I'll put up a pie chart of the split of product categories. This is actually my first time making one, and I think I might go back to all my other markets and make them for each of them because I think it gives me a good idea of what kind of audience goes to this market. And as for profits, I really didn't do that well at all. I'll put up a pie chart of how my expenses and things added up. I won't put the actual numbers because I don't feel comfortable sharing that personally, but this will give you kind of an idea of how well I did, and to me, this honestly was not a very good market personally, so I don't think I will be going back. Aside from that, this market was really nice. I was able to chat with people from SoCal and meet you guys, which was really fun. I really do want to travel to more markets and kind of expand my audience a little bit more. It was also really nice meeting other creators in the area. I got to talk to and chat with my table mate a bit of Cherry, and also Yabra and Didi, who were across from me at SJ Made Fest, also came to visit and say hi. I'll put links to their social media in the description so you can check them out as well. But yeah, that was kind of my experience at Mom OCMA.
think Vegas is the number one.